Hey YouTube, X-Again here with the final part of my video review for the Real Action Heroes Black Rock Shooter White Edition figure. Before I go over my final thoughts of this figure, I kind of forgot in part 2 to do some size comparisons. So, there you go, an SD Gundam. As you can see, she's gonna pretty much tower over all these figures I'm gonna bring in. The only figure that can kinda come close to being the same height as her would be my Make Toys Giant. But Make Toys Giant is only 12 inches. And for people who are wondering, this figure actually stands at 13. So she's actually an inch taller than the Make Toys Giant. Putting the SD Gundam aside, I guess I'll bring in another size comparison with Forever Gundam, the 1/144 scale Forever Gundam. Why did I bring this one? I don't know. Like I said, she'll still tower over everything just by sitting down. For a Figma, I'll bring in my custom painted R.A.H shooter. And like I said, she still towers over him. You can't really... Yeah, she's a tall figure. So I really hope wherever shelf or what shelf you're putting her on, I hope it has a lot of space. And for shits and giggles, pardon my language, little Homura, Nendo Petite of Homura. Yeah. So with the size comparisons out the way, my final words of this figure. For pros, her articulation is fantastic. It's pretty damn awesome. She can pretty much do any pose you want her to do, just as long as you don't stress out her joints, which is another good thing about her. Her joints are very tight. It doesn't feel like they'll get loose, just as long as you don't, mess with it a lot. I guess I can't really call it a pro. Another pro would be the box she comes with. The box is fantastic, and I like the fact you can close her up, close the box, keep the sun off of her. If you're paranoid about discoloration, which is going to be one of the other cons. But I guess the only big pro that she has going for her is articulation, and that's about it. I probably have more pros, but I can't think of it right now, and I don't want to stress my brain. But for cons, she has quite a bit of cons. It's not anything to do with the figure itself, like there's no broken joints or crappy joints. One of her cons is her accessories. I know with her other at the original Black Rock Shooter Real Action Hero figure, yeah, she comes with the usual hands, the extra hairpiece, the eye flame, but she has her rock cannon and the black blade, where this one only has an axe for a weapon. So she doesn't have a sword unless you somehow look for a sword, and I actually have one. So another con is discoloration. I said that before. I actually looked at someone's review on his blog, and the jacket for his is actually starting to yellow. I don't know what causes discoloration. I've only been told it's from the sunlight, the rays of the sunlight. It hits the figure and it discolors it over time. So that would be kind of another con. And because of that, I actually keep her in her box, with the box closed, because I don't want her to suffer the same fate as his. But it's gonna happen eventually. Then I'll probably not care anymore, then have her displayed anyway. Another con would be her price. I know she is a Wonderfest exclusive, so her price is actually a lot more than the original Black Rock Shooter Raw figure. The only places I know where you can get this is if you search your eyes out on Mandarake or usual eBay. if you actually have another store you have that you search on and they have her, then more power to you. But Mandarake and eBay is the only two places that I know. eBay, I'm not too sure how much you see her go for. The last time I checked, she was around 300, probably even more. I picked up mine from, like I said, I picked mine up from Mandarake. They had her listed for 18,000 yen, which is around 230. I'm not too sure. But with shipping, she came out to like 260, 270, close to the 300 mark, but it's not as bad. If you do want to pick her up, I would only recommend picking her up if you can find her for the same price I paid for mine, because anything more than 300 is a bit ridiculous. Should I recommend buying her? If you're a fan of the Black Rock Shooter series, if you have the original one and you really want the white edition, I recommend picking her up. But like I said, only if you can find her for a good price. I was just fortunate to see her while just messing around on the internet. I was like, oh 18,000, that's a pretty good price, and I just picked her up. They actually had the original one. I wanted to pick the one up, but so I guess someone bought it right after I bought mine. I guess another con would be her stand or her lack of accessories, but I already said that. The stand, like I said, it's pretty crap. The stand won't hold her unless you glue it on your shelf. Speaking of shelves, like I said, she is 13 inches, so she stands at 13 inches. So I hope you actually have space. She will be quite a space hog, especially if you want to put the box next to her or the box in general. But other than that, it's pretty much the cons I know. Like I said, I'm not a professional reviewer. I know I could take my time and video edit my videos so they look more professional, but I'm just doing this because to waste time. And before I finish this video, which is going to be pretty long, this was actually a request from a couple of my watchers / friends on DeviantArt. I'm probably going to get your names wrong, so I'm going to cheat real fast and look at your guys' names real fast on my laptop. This was a request by this was actually requested by I apologize if I pronounced your name wrong, Etherian and Chichi9521. Those two wanted me to review this figure, and I hope this is satisfactory for you too. I'll probably still continue doing this, but like I said, don't expect professionalism compared to other reviews like Optibotimus, Peog, JT Mitchell, etc., Rocket Punch Army. But for the next figure I'm going to review, is quite an interesting figure and a figure that I had never heard of that having problems of being issued in the US. If you don't know what it is, I want to play this song. I hope it doesn't blur out your speakers. And until then, I'll see you guys next time.